Hello, Jason Fladlin here, and welcome to Module 2 of the Product E-Class called Others' Expert Knowledge, specifically how we capitalize and leverage other people's knowledge to help make them money and make us money as well. The purpose of this module can be explained as thus. First and foremost, leverage is the name of the game. Anything already in existence that is being underutilized can be capitalized on at a discount. And the way you can think of this in other terms is, what would you rather have, 100% of nothing or 10% of $1 million? Well, 100% of nothing is $0, and 10% of $1 million is $100,000, right? So anything that's not being used, if you can deploy it, you can get a considerable amount and benefit of the upside. Because if that person that you help deploy and leverage their knowledge is otherwise not going to make any money with it, you can take a lot of money. You're the person that has leverage in a situation like this, because even though they've created and sunk time and cost into certain assets, if you're the ones to either suss them out and repurpose them, revitalize them, or engineer them from scratch, you're going to be compensated very well. Secondly, specialization. Knowledge experts often obtain this knowledge at the expense of other things. It's very rare to find somebody who's both especially skilled in communication in terms of instruction related to information products and being world-class at it, as well as being world-class at selling. It's usually one or the other. Now, there are some individuals who are incredibly talented at both, and they're insane individuals who are obsessive, who sacrifice many other things to master not just one skill, which is content creation, or really education through information products in a way that creates behavioral change, right? There's very few people in the world who even master that one element. And then there's very few people in the world who master the element of actually selling and marketing at a high degree. And there are fewer people still who master both of them. Most of us are lucky if we master one. And of those two, I recommend you pick one to focus on immediately that can give you the quickest win. So if other people have mastered the art of knowledge or expertise related to a certain specific topic, the time that they spend mastering that knowledge is time they can't spend doing anything else. So if you spend the time focusing on helping others utilize that knowledge and expertise in a way that's monetarily beneficial to all parties involved, congratulations. You're now specializing in a thing that can work with many experts, where each individual expert has only specialized in the thing that is good for them specifically in their narrow sphere of focus. Speaking of focus, that's the third purpose here. Most people hate to market and sell. They do it out of necessity. So this is where you can do it for them, do it better, and that's your expertise. Their expertise is in their subject matter. Your expertise is in unlocking that subject matter in a way that's palatable to the customer in the market. The wonderful thing is, it's very hard for us to sell ourselves for the very same reason it's hard for us to proofread our own writing, which I warn you, I have done this module due to some time considerations. So don't get mad at me if you find something that is out of place. But here's the point is, it's hard for us to proofread our own stuff, but it's very easy for us to proofread other stuff. So it's very hard for you to sell your own stuff, especially when you're starting out. You have a lot of emotion and identity tied to it, but it's a lot easier to sell somebody else. So for that same factor, it's hard for them to sell themselves, and it's easier for you to sell them. They like it if you're doing the selling because they don't want to do it, and you like it because it's not you selling you, it's you selling them. And because a lot of people, even though marketing usually brings in more money than anything else in a business, since very few people like doing it, you can capitalize and be the person that has figured out a way to do it that's helpful to them, helpful to the customer, and of course, very friendly to your bottom line. Lastly, and this is just the way the world works, the money chain. The closer you are to the end of the money chain, the easier it is to make that money. I joke that like we're all fools and PayPal's the only one that's got it figured out online. Because any product I sell, PayPal's pretty much getting a cut on. And if it's not PayPal, it's a merchant fee that a credit card processor such as Visa or MasterCard is getting a cut on. So the conclusion is very obvious. The closer you are to the end of the money chain, the more money you make. You know, value being created in form of getting compensated only works up to a certain point. The good news is that certain point is hundreds of millions of dollars, if not bigger. But then the money game at the highest level, where people are basically like mutual funds managers who are making money regardless of whether the funds they manage produce for the individuals that are paying them, you know, the brokers and the managers, they're just moving money around. And they are the most wealthy individuals on the planet. They're not even creating value. It's simply because they're so close at the highest level of where money is being moved around. That's why it's very easy for them to get their hands on it. I don't recommend you become one of those individuals because there's a lot more to life than just money, but the point is the point. The closer you are to the end of the money chain, the easier it is to get a cut of the money that's moving around. And selling information puts you very close to the end of the money chain when just creating information puts you at the beginning of it. Now, naturally, of course, there's some massive advantages if you can control the beginning of the information. The beautiful thing, though, it doesn't have to be specifically your information, as you're going to discover throughout this wonderful journey and voyage to the rest of this module 2 of Product E-Class Ultima.